Hello, hello. Hello, girlfriends. I was actually here talking to myself. I forgot to hit go live. So I will be with you in just 1 second. Give me just a moment. Don't you hate when you lose something and you know it's like right in front of you? Like I know what I'm looking for is right here. How are you tonight, Steph? Okay. Over here. Give me just a moment. These are all our little goodies we're going to talk about tonight. I know I just had that right here. I was here packing up some stuff for people, and then I laid something down that I need, and I don't know where it is. You know, those are packages going out tomorrow. Give me just a moment. I need to take my allergy medicine. I will be right back. Hi, Teresa. How are you tonight? Give me just a moment. I'll be right back. Hi, Leslie. How are you, honey? Can you see how wet my hair is? Our air conditioner went out. So that's why I'm a few minutes late, because we were trying to get that going. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay. Let's get my chair back here. Here we go. I'm so sorry. I hope everybody's having a great night. Hi, Francine. I didn't see you when you were coming in, honey. Can you guys see all my food choices that I have back here? Can you see those okay? I just want to make sure of that. I was here talking to myself for 10 minutes and I didn't hit the go live button. I'm like, Rebecca, you're such an idiot. So, yes, you can see them. Okay. Shh, don't read the Outlook, please. What do you mean? What do you mean the Outlook? What am I missing? Oh, I am soaked with sweat. I said to my husband, God, it's hot in here. And then, yeah, it was the air conditioner. Oh, okay. I'm missing something. I'll figure it out later, though, whatever it is that you're saying. I'm sorry. Yeah, and it's nice that I did do the subscriber only thing. So, and I set it for like 4 or 5 hours. So if they want to come in, they're going to have to wait, I guess, till after the chat's over. How about that? Yeah, fool Rebecca once, not twice. So, and sorry that I'm half naked. Woo! But too hot in here. I'm going to pull up here just real quick. I said I would stand up and show you guys full body tonight, but I don't have my camera set up so I can turn it. It would just be my laptop. So if you don't mind, I'm going to, and I know some of you, at least one of you in particular, has seen some of the pictures of me from before. in the fuller version of me, I'll call it. Okay. Let me find it. Okay. And I mean, I've got bigger pictures than these pictures that I shared with someone, but I'll just show you. And like I had said to her, that I remember the day in particular this one picture was taken, I was really feeling pretty. And I was just, like 250 pounds more than I am now. So I'm sorry, I should have had this ready. Even with the air conditioner dying, it's like, no, I'm still going on air. I could have sat in my car with the laptop, I guess. Right? Could have done it. So. Oh, you don't have air, not even a window unit, Teresa? I can remember at a time, even whenever the whole system had gone out, and we had to go with a window unit. Okay. Gosh, Leslie, girl, you could probably find the darn pictures of me faster than I can find them. Let me see. No, okay. I'm sorry about this, guys. I apologize. And I will tell you while I'm searching for these. Ariana, hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué haciendo, hija? ¿Por qué no teléfono de Juan? ¿Por qué? Por favor, Saturday, teléfono mi esposo, por favor. That's my beautiful Ariani. So you guys are hearing my Spanglish that I know. ¿Cómo estás, Ari? Sí. But por favor, teléfono yo o de esposo. Tu padre. I'm wanting Ari, for those of you that don't know Spanish, I'm wanting Ari to call me or my husband, Mr. Cupcake. So I worry about her. Ari, ¿dónde tú in Florida or no? Yeah, I'm just a multi-talented woman, huh? Hee. Okay. If I can find this. But anyway, I want to discuss that some people, when you have a lot of weight to lose, it seems impossible. When you're at the hundreds and hundreds of pounds to lose, it looks like it's impossible. And it's not. No, Teresa, he's got some health things that have to be dealt with. And one thing that he's got kidney stones. That's one of the more minor things right now. So we're going to be going in to have that retrieval thing done. He's had it done before. It didn't work. Then they had to use I call it the Astro machine. And, oh, Stephanie, you're welcome. You're amazing. You're absolutely beautiful. I loved seeing you yesterday. But, it's kind of like whenever they find one thing wrong, they find other things wrong. So we've got all kinds of appointments and stuff. But, thank you for asking. And I will keep you posted. But he's not doing too good right now. So, okay. And I do not know why. Leslie M., if you can find those, hi, Shelby, welcome in, honey. If you can find those pictures of me that I sent you, if you could maybe snapshot them and send them to me, that would be great, because I cannot find them doing, just scrolling through and looking. I can't find them. So let me see if I can find it this way. But if you're still here, Leslie, and you wouldn't mind, that would be awesome. So, but as I told you guys, I'm just going to give you a brief. Oh, okay, here, I have one right here. Here we go. Let me enlarge this. And look how small Mr. Cupcake looks. Can you guys see that picture? You see what I look like there? See what big boobs I had even? But he looked so little compared to me. I felt so pretty in this dress that day. You see brown stuff on my face. Maybe it's just the camera. I don't know. Yeah, I do look kind of brownish. I don't know. Maybe it's just the light. Hi, Hippie. How are you? I see that too now. Guess it's going to paranoid me. But I don't know. It's got to be shadows or something is what it's got to be. But anyway, that is me there with Mr. Cupcake. And like I said, I felt pretty that day. I felt very pretty that day. And then, let's see. No, I don't want to show you that one. Oh, this is me back in the day. It's got the lines on the thing, but see, you can see me with that was me, younger with my big hair. And yes, I am a real redhead, just so you know that. So my hair does change from lights to dark, depending on how much I'm out in the sun. Now, this is Mr. Cupcake and I. And can you see what arms I've got in that photo? Big arms. See my arms there compared to my little arms that I have now? Oh, thank you, Stephanie. But, you know, now I have what I call skinny arm problem because I have to be very careful as to what I wear because my arms are so thin that a lot of things do not fit me in the arms because my arms are too little. So, and I went from I was wearing yeah, see, and that's me now. That's what I look like now. So, but I went from, I was a 9 in a bracelet, then to an 8, then to 7 3/4, 7 1/2. Now I can wear a 7 and see how big my hands are compared to, you know, my wrist and even my ring sizes. I'm now down to, I can wear a 7, but it slides. So I need like a 6 3/4 or a 6 1/2. So, you know, I've changed a lot. Oh, this is me I think that was me at Costco. No, what's the other one? Sam's. That was me. See, as I was losing weight. But I want to tell you, what do you guys, or I want to ask you rather, not tell you, what do you think the first thing is that you have to do? Hi, Ashley. Welcome in, sweetheart. What do you think the first thing is that you need to do to start getting yourself on a healthy eating track? What do you think you need to do first? Let me know what you think. If you'll just put it in the chat, what do you think you need to do? And do not get confused and think that some of these things back here did not used to be my favorite foods. Because of course they were. But they are no longer part of my life. But if you want to get on a healthy course, what is the first thing that you think you need to do? Yes, that is correct, Miss Leslie. If you want to be successful at losing weight and getting on a healthy track, the very first thing that you need to do is to detox from sugar. It's a must because once you detox from sugar, you will no longer crave it. And then when you're no longer craving it, Sorry, I don't know why my mail is opening up on the screen. But once you're no longer craving the sugar, oh, bless your heart, Teresa. Yeah, see, things like that definitely can happen. That, whenever you have a health issue, God, my everything, even my hair looks oranger or redder, whatever color I am. See, now I'm going to be like, well, I don't know what that is. It's got to be on the camera somehow. But anyway, to detox from sugar, it takes 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Oh, by the way, there's my nails this week. See them? And they're navy blue, not purple. But it takes 2 weeks to detox from sugar. And it sounds easy, but it's not. Because there are several times that I have made it to day number 8, had to eat something sweet, so I had to start over. Thank you, Leslie, got to day number 10, had something sweet, had to start over. So, and thank you, Miss Hippie. But, the thing is, you're not going to succeed the first time. Guaranteed, you're not. Does it mean that you beat yourself up over it? No. What you do is, if you screw up on one meal, then you pick yourself back up on the next. And anytime, if you are eating sugar, it's only going to make you hungrier. It's going to give you that crash and burn. And it's just not good for you. And I used to crave sugar and sweets over any other food, anything. I used to be one of those two that used to tell people, oh, I only eat once a day. I don't know why I have all this weight. Well, I knew why I had all of that weight, because when I ate once a day, I ate everything I could get my hands on. I was consuming thousands of calories in a meal, not doing enough physical exercise to get rid of those calories. And that's why. So when people say, oh, I only eat one meal a day, well, common sense is, you know as well as I know, all that you are doing is consuming more calories than you're burning off, and that's why it's being stored as fat. So same thing, and I don't mean to offend anyone on this, but same thing when people that are on steroids will say, oh, I'm this big because I'm on steroids. I have this, and I'm on steroids. There is no steroid, ask your own doctors, there is no steroid that's going to put 100 pounds, 50 pounds, 200 pounds extra on you. Cookies will, pizza will, fast food will, but there's no steroid that's going to do that. And most steroid situations, the most you will gain, according to all of my specialists and all my primary and all of my specialists, I should say, they all gave me the same number, 12 to 15 pounds, and it's only temporary. So I've been on steroids and stuff. I know, yes, you blow up like a balloon, but it does not make you gain hundreds of pounds. That's just an excuse. You're overeating, period. So, there's a lot of things. And again, I'm just speaking from personal experience. There are a lot of excuses to use along the way to justify why you're carrying that extra weight. I don't know. I'm eating once a day. I don't tell you that I went to McDonald's and I got a Big Mac, a cheeseburger, a large fry, and a milkshake. I don't tell you that part. And then, eating ice cream and cookies and the whole bit. I don't tell you that part. But I'm just eating once a day. No, I was consuming far too much food, for my body, not enough exercise, high fat foods, the whole bit. So now, if you start and start tomorrow, start fresh, if you will detox from sugar, I'm telling you, it will change your life. Change your life. And then once you try to go back to it and eating like regular sugars and stuff, you'll see the reaction your body has to it. So I can tell you this, my husband, it's had to be proven to him, and he's the same way, that no, it has no part in our lives now at all. Now let me pull out here. There are things like this that you can get. Cheapest place to buy this cake mix is from Walmart. So, but don't start adding stuff like this into your diet until you are sugar-free. And why would Rebecca say that? I say that because when you haven't learned how to control the sugar yet, chances are on products like this, and there's also a sugar-free frosting that you can buy, but literally you could eat it by the spoonful. It's got no sugar in it. But when you overeat on this stuff, there are things in it that will give you diarrhea because it's not made to be consumed in large quantities. So until you have that sugar thing under control, you are not going to make a cake like this and eat just one little piece of it. It's not going to happen. You will bake this cake, and I guarantee you, you will eat half of it because you will say, it's sugar-free. I can have that. Well, when you look at the calories, once you make this, and I don't know how many of you know how to read labels, the right way or not. Yeah, see, I'm diabetic also. So, and for diabetics, food is like air to a diabetic, period. This says, once you mix this according to your little instructions that are up here, add your oil, your water, and your eggs, that one serving of this cake, which is only 1/10 of the package, has 220 calories. It has no sugar in it. And let me find your carbs. Carbs, it has 37 grams of carbs per serving. That's per serving. Because again, it tells you your serving is 1/10 of the package. You can also weigh it out. It's 45 grams. Reading your labels, it has 10 servings. Once this is mixed and made as a thing, it has 10 servings in it. And once you start learning about foods and stuff, your label reading is so important. Let me say that again. Label reading is so important. Important. It's going to give you, when you are at the store, even if you shop online, you can pull up the labels on every product at every store. You can read those labels. Always pay attention to what the serving size is and what is in that serving. And at every meal, you do one of two things. Either you count calories per meal or you count carbs. For us, what works is counting carbs. Yeah, sugars in everything, correct. I mean, even in salad dressing. But if you just in deliberate sugar, though, I'm saying if you go sugar-free, like eating all your sweets and all your junk and your coffee creamers. Also, too, whenever people say, oh, well, no, I'd rather have regular sugar because the sugar-free stuff, that is going to cause cancer. There is not one documented case anywhere, and Google and see, not one case anywhere of anybody getting cancer that traces back to artificial sugars. None. Zero. None. You would have to consume so much artificial sweeteners that in your lifetime you could not consume enough. You got to remember when they say that, like, certain ones they were tracing it to possibility of cancer in rats. Okay, their digestive system everything is different, but there is not one case out there of a human being, meaning a person, that has contracted cancer from eating sugar substitutes. Not out there. So yes, you are far better using a sugar substitute than regular sugar. So, and you're going to, even in fruits, I will tell you, yeah, exactly. Now see, like I have pasta, a few different pastas sitting on here. Let's just jump to this since Teresa mentioned this. This for 3/4 of a cup. And I should have cooked it and measured it out. I apologize I didn't. 3/4 of a cup, 200 calories, and it's got 42 grams of carbs in that, and 2 grams of sugar. Okay. Oh, hi. Thank you, Alfonso. Welcome in. I hope you're doing great. Now, you tell me, as a meal, if you could sustain yourself on 3/4 of a cup of pasta with 42 grams of carbs. Absolutely not. You're going to want more than that to eat. So, can you have pasta? Yeah. But when you're going to have this, you're going to have to watch your other carbs that you're adding to that meal. Like for a diabetic, carbs get a really bad rap. Like people trying to do keto and staying as low carb as possible and stuff. When you're doing keto and your body gets into that ketosis state that it is, you cannot live that way forever. You cannot. Not. A diabetic needs to have carbs at every meal. Every person needs carbs. Carbs just get a bad rap because people abuse them. Yes, I'm here to tell you that carbs are abused. So carbs are not a bad thing. And you have to, first of all, I should have said this in the beginning, but I am not a doctor. And if you have health issues, you should always check with your physician before starting any kind of a diet, okay? And I am just giving you my own personal experience and what has worked for me. And as a morbidly obese woman, I know what works and what doesn't work for me. But there's all these diets out there. There's the South Beach diet, there's keto, there's the King something, there's the this, there's the that, there's the paleo. A friend of mine the other day just said, oh, she's becoming a carnivore. She's going to eat nothing but meat. Even a bodybuilder does not live on pure protein. Right before competition, they're pure protein for a short time to get their muscle definition. But nobody can live on pure protein. It just does not work. And if you get yourself sugar-free, start counting your carbs, that's the best way to do it. Depending on your weight, if you Google it, put in your weight and ask Google how many carbs you can have per meal, or ask your doctor, it will tell you. Also for how many grams of protein that you need a day. See, a lot of people are short on the amount of protein. A lot of women, when their hair starts falling out, it's like, oh my God, my hair is coming out in bunches. Yep, I've been there, done that. I had a very smart primary who said to me, Rebecca, your body is starving for protein. I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, that's why your hair is falling out. He was correct. So because when I needed like 6 times the amount of protein that I was taking in every day, he's like, that's how it's going to show up in your body. That's why your hair is falling out in bunches the way that it was. So, but you have to, again, talk to your physicians about it. And like, if I ask each one of you, what is your favorite food? Like, what is your bad go-to? What do you like most that you think you can just not stay away from it? What is it? What is that food? Is it a chip? Is it a cookie? What is it? If you don't mind sharing that in the chat, just put in there, like, what's your favorite food? Bad food, I should say. Yeah, see, as long as you eat sugar, you're going to crave sugar. Oh, pizza, Francine, have I got a good one for you? Actually, let me go and get it out of the freezer for you right now. Let's see. Is my good and healthy box still here? No. Okay. Okay. Leslie, soda, bad thing. Do you know, Teresa, that with carbonated drinks, that it actually bloats your stomach? It makes it bigger. That's why I always put on that 600-pound life, my 600-pound life. even though I do not always sit and watch the show, but I want them to get the airtime so it'll keep, helping people. But Dr. Now always tells his patients on there, first thing he tells them is give up soda. And that's because it makes their stomach stretch because of the carbonation. Well, when your stomach stretches, what do you have room for? More food. So, but you can use flavored drink mixes. I should have grabbed those too to show you all the different ones that you can use and stuff. And once you quit drinking the soda and stuff, you're not going to crave it anymore. Give yourself about a week and you'll see. But this is, and Leslie knows about this pizza. I share this with everybody. This pizza is a margarita pizza. See the fresh basil on there? And Leslie, we take these out of the box when we put them in the freezer. Can you tell me, is this heart and healthy? I think I'm drawing a blank. The box is gone. I thought I saved one of them. But look, you actually get fresh basil on here. And it's got the mozzarella and stuff. You can have a third of this pizza. So we're going to have like this much of it from finger to finger right there for 350 calories. It is an excellent pizza. And it is, Francine, I will look it up for you and email it, but I think it is like, or Leslie, if you wouldn't mind, can you look on the Target website for it? It's either Heart and Healthy. Okay, Good and Gather. There you go, Good and Gather. And they have a vegetable one. They have a mushroom and truffle oil. They have all kinds of different flavors, but this is the best one, the margarita. It is not greasy at all, and it tastes like a pizza from an Italian pizza shop. It is absolutely fantastic. We love this pizza. And I had Leslie try it. She loves it. Everybody else that has tried it says the same thing. But if you look at the pizza restaurants, all our fast food pizza chains, a lot of pizzas, one slice is 1,000 calories. 1,000 calories, even 800 and something. I forget the one I looked up on, but it was like 860 for one slice of pizza. You could eat this entire thing for that. It's a big pizza. Hi, Rebecca. The best advice from my doctor was always shop outside the grocery store, the chicken store, the outside aisle. Right. Fruits, veggies, meat, and dairy. Yeah, that's really true. Really true. And with your fruits, when you're buying fruits, most of the fruits that you have to peel it or, cut it off to eat it, that you can't eat the peeling, like an orange, like a pineapple, like a watermelon, those are your fruits that are the highest in sugar. So I don't eat a lot of fruits simply because of being a diabetic. I just don't do it. Well, see, now Rebecca's saying that she 249 to 135 in 1 year. Congratulations. Yeah, the weight literally, I'm telling you guys, the weight literally falls off. If you go sugar-free for 2 weeks and detox from that, and then eat, I'm going to show you over the next couple of weeks some different meals that you can make and stuff. And you might not like everything. That's why when I work with people individually, I always say, okay, what are the foods that you like, to try and make something around that. Stephanie, I saw that you said that you like chips and salsa. Let me tell you a little secret. There is no reason why you cannot still eat chips and salsa. About that. If you buy the low carb or the zero carb little tortillas and you cut them up and either bake them in your oven or air fryer, there's your chips. The other ones are fried. So if you do that and then you have your salsa, I make mine all the time, I can still eat that. I'm just not consuming all of the fat from those greasy chips because I'm baking mine. So you can still have it. There's so many foods that you can have. It's about moderation. And once you get rid of the sugar craving, and then your stomach is shrinking. You're not going to be able to fit as much food in. So some of the foods that you like that aren't like totally great for you, you can still eat them, but you won't be able to consume as much of it, if that makes any sense. Let me show you this, for example. Who has not eaten these? Who? Everybody. Or the ramen noodles, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, Francine, sugar is like a drug. It is worse. I think food addiction is worse than heroin addiction because for so many of us, it started from early childhood. Our parents taught us how to eat. And if they had bad eating habits, we had those. So we're literally going back decades now trying to change that. And same thing with salt. Salt is so bad for you. Oh my God. If I ever eat something, especially in processed food, and then I read the sodium on it, it like makes my mouth want to pucker because there's so much in it. I cannot do it. Once you get to healthy eating, I'm telling you, your body will reject a lot of stuff because it is not used to it any longer. And yes, Rebecca, that's very true. You have to look at it like so many people start off their day with just coffee. No breakfast, just coffee, just coffee. They're going to starve, maybe eat something for lunch. No snack in between from breakfast to lunch. No breakfast, no snack. Get to lunch, they're starving. Go and pick up some fast food. Maybe even just a sweet at lunch. Nothing in between. By dinner, they're starving their asses off. It's not the way to live. If you start at the beginning of your day with breakfast, it is the most important meal of the day. Again, the most important meal of the day is your breakfast. You have got to have breakfast. You must have breakfast. Think about if you went out and got in your car in the morning and your car was empty, how far could you drive on those fumes? How far? But yet we expect to get up out of bed and function all day until a certain point with no food. You can't do it. Your body has got nothing to run on. And that's why when, oh my God, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. I haven't done anything, but I'm tired. Of course you're tired. So then you reach for a candy bar or a donut, whatever it is. That gives you that quick sugar high. Okay, we're grooving. Yeah. Till that sugar's burnt off, and then you're even more tired than you were in the beginning. So, and best food you can have in the morning, best food is an omelet. Yes, Rebecca said it. It's an omelet. Call me out on it. Google it. An omelet for everyone, especially for a diabetic. It does not raise your blood sugar. Does not. Will not. Does not. You've got your protein there. Yes, you can eat the yellow of the egg. You do not have to just have the egg white. Yes, you can eat it. Yes, you can. And let me put our soup back over here. Oh, no, I want to read you the thing on the soup. But whenever you have your omelet, have your vegetables in the refrigerator already in little containers. If you want to do just a cheese omelet, that's fine. Make yourself a cheese omelet. If you're doing vegetables, have all your stuff in containers. So then, like if you want to make omelets in the morning, you want to make yourself a little personal pizza, you want to do tostadas, add to a salad, whatever, you have all of your stuff right there in little containers. Now, another myth before I get back to our soup here, another myth that people have is that I can't eat healthy because it costs too much money. I can't do it. I can't. It's way more money than buying all this junk. Is it? Is it? Have you tried? No, it doesn't cost more. It will actually cost you less. Some items are more like this pizza. This pizza is $7.99 where I live, $8. But if you're carrying one out, what are you paying for it? If you go to a grocery store, unless you're doing those little cheapy gross pizzas, what do they cost? here at the grocery store, you're going to pay $12, $13 for a frozen pizza. I'm paying $8 for a healthy one. Stephanie, some of the favorite food in my house is also Mexican. I'm married to a Mexican, but we know how to eat healthy Mexican. And even my Mexican knows how to eat healthy Mexican now, if that makes any sense. So, and he used to be one addicted. Every meal that he ate, he had himself a stack of tortillas, of course, corn tortillas, stack of corn tortillas, tortilla rolled up in one hand and eating with his fork in the other one. Doesn't do that anymore. He cannot consume all of those calories. And from corn, cannot do it. So, and for him to give up something like that he loves, that's part of his heritage, I know that he's serious about his health. So, but no, he's been a very good boy. But what I wanted to point out here on the soups, on the cup of soups, it's like these also, they get a very bad rap. Well, if we read our label back here in the back, there's one serving, okay, in that cup, it's 290 calories, okay? 290 calories, you're getting 12 grams of fat total in here. 6 grams of it is saturated fat. You're getting 39 carbs, 2 grams of dietary fiber, and 2 grams of sugar. So, would this be a bad food for you to eat? Is this a bad food for you to eat? Let me know your opinion. Is this a good food or a bad food? All processed foods, of course, Rebecca, have high sodium. But I just want to see, what do you guys think? Good food or bad food? We're going to skip the salt part for right now. Again, it's a processed food. They've all got it in it. Frozen foods, even higher. But is this a food that you could have? Do you think it's good, Francine? Okay. Anybody else want to say good food, bad food? How many of you are eating these right now? Okay, Leslie says it could be worse. Francine said it's good food. Anyone else? I'll give you a moment and give me your opinion. Good food, bad food. Is it filling fruit so not so healthy? Well, it's not the best food option, but yes, as Leslie says, it's not the worst. It all depends on, again, moderation and what you're going to eat with this. Is this going to be the only thing that you're going to eat? Or are you going to eat 2 or 3 of these and then add a candy bar and a couple cookies, whatever? If this is the only alternative that you have got around you for some kind of food at the time, and it only has 39 grams of carbs in it, well, like my doctor says, I can have 80 carbs a meal. Most people between 60 and 80 carbs a meal, but, this is already 39 of them, okay? I don't count calories, I only count carbs. So would I eat this just alone? I wouldn't eat this just for a lot of the stuff that's in here, but if this was a food choice for you, you should add a side of vegetables to it to have with it, not crackers, not bread, side of vegetables or a side salad with very little dressing. Even on salad dressings, they're loaded with fat. They taste so good, but you have to, again, read those labels. Let me see. I thought I put a bottle of ranch dressing out here so we could go over that. But yeah, you could have this if it was your best case scenario. Like I said, if it's money wise, location wise, whatever, you could eat this, but add some good to it. So do not live on cup of soups, please. I am not saying that. I'm just saying if this had to be a food choice, it is a possibility that yes, for 80 some cents that you could have this, okay? But it's not the best thing for you. Instead, make your own broth, add you some vegetables in there, do like the mushroom noodles. There's so many that keep coming out, and those noodles, I can tell you this, the fake pasta, it's expensive. It is expensive. So, but it's a food choice you could have if we eat those, we add that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is a soup that I make that has been nicknamed the best soup in the world, and it literally is ramen noodles with carrots, little slices of celery. What else do I put in there? Cilantro, some onions, a squeeze of lemon, and a dot of chili paste. And everybody loves it. Oh, and spinach leaves. But there's so much in there in vegetables, and it's got hot and spicy and a whole bit. Everybody loves it. That's why it's been nicknamed the best soup in the world. But it's not something to eat on a regular basis. Yes, cauliflower pizza. There's one that we just tried last week from Costco. It was good, but not as good as these. Not as good as these. So this here has got your, your regular floury baked tasting thing. The cauliflower one, there was definitely a difference, and it wasn't as close. The brand that we bought, it was not as close as the Good and Gather was. So, hey, babe. No, think out of the shower. Hold on, I want to put the pizza back in the freezer before it melts. Before it's no longer a frozen pizza. Sorry. We're there. Now, let me show you these. This is another thing. People say, I like my snacks. I like treats. Here's pretzels. Good or bad for you? Good food, bad food. Let me know what you think. Good food, bad food. And don't Google it. Just tell me if you think good food, bad food. Okay, Francine, you cannot live on just vegetables alone. I know there's people that are vegetarians that they can do that, so they say and stuff, but no, you have to have a balanced meal. So, and you can overdo it with vegetables. There's plenty of vegetables. Look at carrots, look at corn that are loaded with sugar. So, not all vegetables are great. You think the pretzels are bad? Okay. The pretzels for one serving, there were 10 in this bag. You can tell it's almost gone. So 1 ounce is approximately 10 pretzels. Okay. So we've got 0.5 grams of fat in them. Sodium is high, it's 250 milligrams. Total carbs, 25 grams. Or I'm sorry, 23 grams. And then 3 grams of protein. Okay. So that is only 23 grams for 10 pretzels. And then if you wanted to double that to have only 46 grams for a treat, look at the serving size. That's 20 pretzels in there. Or you could eat, look, just your half a bag and a couple slices of cheese or a small piece of fruit with it. Just in between from your breakfast to your lunch, that you have got something to continue to fuel your body. But look how many pretzels. Sit down and try and eat 10 of these at one time. Another great snack to eat. I did not get them out of my cabinet, but I do bags of nuts. People see me eating nuts. I'll be eating them on air. If you ever see me at auction, I'm either eating a protein bar or I'm eating nuts. And if you eat protein things, it also helps to curb your hunger. But if you took those 10 pretzels there and ate those, and like I said, just a couple little cubes of cheese. And it might sound like I'm talking about feeding mice right now. Once you get started on this, I'm telling you, within 2 weeks, you're going to be a brand new person. And anybody who needs help figuring out a personal diet, again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian. I'm just an old fat lady who has been through this all the time for decades. So, but anybody who needs help to figure out their own diet plan, right here is my email, right there. Email me and I will help you. You can email me. I'll give you my phone number. You can text me. You can call me. We can set up an appointment for a call, and I will help you to pick foods that you like so that you don't feel cheated to get you through the sugar-free stage and then on your way to health. I will be more than happy to help, because as we get older, our bodies change. They definitely change. We all know that. I mean, every 5 to 10 years, we see the change. And you know what's very hard, and I've learned this myself, is that whenever you're trying to change your life, but your life is still in the same situation, meaning around the same people, in the same house, the same routine, it's very hard to be the one and only to stand up and try and break that cycle. It's very hard. And you have to, and we all do it at different points. We're all human. It's not going to happen that you're going to succeed. Very few people will on the first try. Very few. So you can't beat yourself up. Like I said, you just change it at your next meal. Not like, oh my God, I've blown my whole diet now. You're talking one meal that you ate too much. So correct it in your next one. It doesn't mean that you then get a week to go ahead and just eat all the crap that you want. So, but Stephanie, the first step is actually not hard. It's following through with the first step. See, the first step's not hard. I told you, it goes sugar-free. So it's not hard to start it, but it's hard to actually follow it through for the 14 days, because your body is going to want that sugar. Yes, it is. If you think, which I do not think, but if you think you could control the portion size and you want something sweet, here you go. If you want to eat frosting by the spoonfuls, buy the sugar-free frostings. This cake mix comes also in chocolate, and then the two frostings are white and chocolate. Go ahead and buy the frosting. Eat it until it makes you sick, but at least it's sugar-free. So I just always recommend stay away from this stuff until you've got portion control under wraps, because you will get the best case of diarrhea you have ever had in your life when you are overeating this stuff. Same thing, people think sugar-free candy. Oh my God, I can eat the whole bag of sugar-free. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. You cannot eat the whole bag because it's sugar-free. And again, there are chemicals in those sugar-free chocolates, that, especially Rosa Stover, that will give you diarrhea. Okay? So you cannot eat just anything and everything that you want because it's sugar-free. You cannot do that. Okay, and your doctors have said what, Francine? When you ask them to give you a nutritionist, what do they tell you? Well, now, see, Stephanie, there too. There is a brand of ice cream called Halo. Halo makes ice cream that is sugar-free, and it is amazing. You cannot tell the difference in that ice cream and regular ice cream with sugar. You cannot. So it is pricier, but it's a darn good ice cream. But you've got to get your body used to being without the sugar so that you can shut down that way of thinking. And Francine, as far as working late, do you think your body knows what time it is? It knows like how late you stay up and work, and how many hours you sleep, but it doesn't know the difference between if you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning working, or if you're sleeping, or if you're working at 2 in the afternoon. If you're up working late, you need to do your food schedule around the hours that you're up. Do you get what I'm saying? Like people that work third shift, and they're sleeping during the daytime. Okay, so they're not eating during the day when most of us are. Their food time is during their work time. Yeah, well, and I'm telling you, uh, Stephanie, if we can get you sugar-free and on your way to losing weight, especially women that have 100 pounds or more to lose. I don't know who's in the chat who doesn't, what your weights are or anything. If you have 100 or more pounds to lose, I can tell you this, your first month, you will lose anywhere between 25 to 35 pounds in 1 month. 1 month, you will lose that. See, but all that is, though, Francine, is you say that you crave it a lot at night. Well, that's because that's when you're up. So you have to adjust your food schedule to your awake time. And you have to separate what is actually a thought and what is needed by the body. Because all that food is for us, and I don't mean to burst anybody's bubble, but all that food is for us is fuel. That's what it's supposed to be. So, see, there you go, Stephanie. I am telling you, the weight will fall off if you just make a few changes, and especially on your food, that you're making healthier choices. Like when the poor potato gets such a bad rap too. It's a carb. Oh no, you can't have potato. No, 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 no. Can't have that. It's got carbs. Well, yeah, you can. It just all depends on the kind of potato that you're having. You know what I'm saying? And Francine, if you need personal help, email me right here. Email me. I'll be happy to help you step by step. I'll help you figure out a menu, your times of eating, and I'll help you, But what each of you have to do is you've got to take that time to set aside the foods that are for you. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to set aside so that when you're hungry, you've got a food to go to. Not that you're like, oh my God, I'm hungry. There's nothing here for me to eat. Okay, I'm just going to drive to Wendy's. Can't do that. You've got to do your grocery shopping and do your meal planning. And even whenever you don't have anything to eat at home but your eggs, make yourself an omelet. Even if it's just a plain omelet, make yourself an omelet. It's going to be so much better than that fattening bread. And even when you want to have bread, the old saying is, that's been around for decades, the whiter the bread, the sooner you're dead. This is a great choice in bread. Great choice. So I'm not really a bread eater anymore. I used to love bread more than a man. I can tell you that. Yep. But see, there's 48 grams of whole grains in here, 8 grams of protein, and 6 grams of fiber. So, and it only has 21 grams of carbs per piece. So, hi, sweet Nancy. How are you, honey? So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you need. You need to increase your protein, decrease your sugar, and even if you want, I had offered to do an exercise class, but I said, if I do this, that everybody has to come online, of course, in a private chat, and exercise at the same time, because I'm not going to be like exercising for the whole world to see. I'm not going to do that. But I can show you low impact exercises. You can start with just sitting in a chair, to get your body moving. Weight loss, it sounds very simple. Eat less, be more active, and you're going to be fine. But they never tell you how to, well, more, Stephanie, like in a live, like through, say, StreamYard or Zoom, but just where it's private. you know, so that if you're exercising and saying, well, how do I do this here? Am I doing this correct? Or someone else is, or we're doing reps together, nobody else sees but the people that are in that small group. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's just you and I, you, me, and 4 other people, but it would be private. It would not be public on YouTube for, everyone to see as they're doing it. So, and you do have to, I'm a firm believer in, you have to start with low impact, because if I wanted to start showing off all that I can do now, well, what does that do for you? You know what I'm saying? I didn't start off that way. So how could I expect you to? So, but just with simple, low impact exercises to start with, and do them every day. And then you'll be increasing it. And as you keep up with it every day, you're not going to feel right if you don't work out, because it raises your metabolism. It actually gives you more energy and stuff. But again, I am happy to help every single person that's in this chat, or anyone who watches the replay. I will help absolutely anybody with exercise, with food, whatever you need, because I know the struggle. And I'm telling you, I cannot stress enough, the number one thing to stop food addictions is you have to detox your body from sugar. You have to. Have to. Have to. It's horrible. This is another product, and I have no endorsement. This is a product that I drink every single day. I also drink a collagen with protein drink, but instead of regular coffee doing the cream and sugar, I do sugar-free French vanilla cappuccino. I have this every day. And 1 cup of this is 70 calories, and it's 11 grams of carbs. But this is my wake me up. My husband makes this for me every single day, every day. So what else do I have up here? Oh, here we go. Here is our little Chef Boyardee. Let me see. Now this has got 320 calories. Who doesn't remember mini raviolis? No, that we have to start a fans only. And yes, exactly. Yes, and OnlyFans. Yes. So, but yes, it would definitely be private, even if it's one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's not about the number of people that are in something, but it's the people that get the help. So, and I'm willing to do that. Yeah, if you're seeing your doctor on Friday, tell your doctor that you're wanting to start on a healthy track, that this crazy old lady on YouTube said you need to get sugar-free and stuff and start counting your carbs at meals. I mean, my A1C was at 12.9, and it's now currently, I am at 5.8. So I'm better than a non-diabetic, and I'm a bad diabetic. I take 5 medications per day for my diabetes, 5. So, and even with those medications would do nothing for me if I was not eating right, period. So, but yeah, I mean, we all remember this, everybody, and they're still popular. But there is, if you ate this can, this is 320 calories. It is 52 grams of carbs. Okay, 52 grams of carbs in here. Let's see, fat, there's 8 grams of fat, 10 milligrams of cholesterol. Are you ready for this on the sodium? There is 1,350. Let me repeat that. 1,350 milligrams of salt. 1,350 milligrams of salt. Dietary fiber, only 2 grams. Now, the pretzels with the salt, this has 250 milligrams of salt, on a pretzel, okay, 250 milligrams. Yet our Chef Boyardee has 1,350 milligrams. So it's got over 6 times the salt that a pretzel has. This is not a good food, okay? Not a good food unless you can do portion control and only eat 2 or 3 of those. It's the only way, and not all the time. Just like grabbing one out of there. But in general, stay away from this. Stay away from that. Okay. Here's another thing. These are the popcorners. These used to come in a giant bag before they started all of the food shrinking stuff. This was a big bag at the Dollar Tree for $1. Now it's like a fourth the size that it was for $1.25. Okay, but if you ate this bag, and there is 1 ounce, 1 3/4 ounce in the bag. Okay, there's still a good amount of chips in here. 240 calories, 290 milligrams of sodium, 33 grams of carbs are in here, and 3 grams of sugar. Okay, so that's almost a teaspoon of sugar with 3 grams being in there. So this is 33 grams. Could you have this as a snack, as you're in between? Yeah, you can eat this. Is it your best choice? No. So again, what I would do is only have part of this, add some protein to this through your nuts, even through a teaspoon of, what do you call it? Teaspoon of peanut butter, so that you've got some protein there. Have these and then have that. That's what I would do. I would not eat the whole bag at one time. Absolutely not. But so for people that are saying, oh, I crave this, I crave that, I'm telling you, there's so many food things. We could go on for hours of things that you can still have that you have in your regular life. But the number one thing that you cannot have that we're going to cut out is going to be sugar and processed foods. Try and stay away from as much of that as you can. Start buying, and I'm actually out of them right now. There is a bag of roasted vegetables. They're called fire roasted vegetables at Costco. Comes a couple pounds in the bag. Literally, these vegetables taste like they just came off a grill. They are amazing. And I take those, throw them in a pot, add some meat to it, and then I use the cauliflower rice, and then I brown it. So it's actually like, my husband has no clue. It's not even rice. And that's what we have like as a stir fry. Oh my God, it is so good. And I use the Mr. Hughes sugar-free sweet and sour. No, the hot chili one, I think, is what I use. But they're all sugar-free, different sauces you can use. And I throw that in there with it. And you would have no clue that you are eating a meal that's better than Panda Wok or any of those. And again, it's healthy. It's low on your sodium and stuff. Add your protein, chicken, beef, whatever you want to add to that. So there's just little changes that you can do. I mean, I'm the first person to say, hi, my name is Rebecca, and I'm a food addict. I love food. I love to see large quantities of it. I love it. Love it. So I send pictures. I'm a weirdo. I send pictures to people all the time of food that I'm making. I'm like, look, I made this. I got a pot of this. I'm doing this. But I love seeing it. I don't want to be penalized and given like this little bowl, and that's all that I can eat. I don't want that. I like to feel satisfied and that I fit in with everybody else. And I'm now at the point where, hi, Big Sexy. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. Sorry. Mr. Cupcake's asking, can he pass by on camera and what he's wearing? He just has on shorts and a shirt, but can he pass by without being caught on camera? I'm like, yeah, you're good. Sorry, you're on camera, hon. No, sorry. But I love seeing food. I like lots of it. I now, at this point in my life, I can go to any restaurant. I saw earlier that Leslie had commented that she, at funerals, at weddings, there's food. Girl, as Southern Baptists, we have food at everything. But I can go to places where there's bad food choices now, and it doesn't bother me. I can be right there with all the sweets. Like here in the South, they eat a lot of fried stuff, a lot of macaroni and cheese. I'm not into all that. So I can see all of that stuff there. And no, I've got the discipline now that I know what my food choices are, and I stick to those. So, but like I said, anybody who wants individual help, just email me right there. Email me. I'll give you my phone number. We can set up a time to talk. We can always text, and I'll be able to help anybody to get started on a healthier journey, because anyone also that is carrying extra weight, it's not a matter of if you're diabetic, it's when you're going to be diabetic, because guaranteed it's going to happen. You will be a diabetic. So, and if you can prevent that and just be a borderline, a lot of people they get that warning that they're a borderline diabetic. If you're lucky enough to get that warning and can, prevent being diabetic, that is the best gift you could ever give yourself. But like for people like me, I'm a diabetic. I can have it under control, but I'm always going to be a diabetic. So, and there's so much that goes wrong with your body with diabetes that it's not, it's not pretty, but at least if I'm controlling it. See, and what is in my cup? It's flavored water. So, yeah, well, and Stephanie, first thing that most of the time that diabetes affects is your eyes. And then when your sugars are running high, it is like taking the organs in your body and smashing them up against a wall, because everything is just, in a tizzy because it's not functioning right. So, and if you can avoid being a diabetic, like I just thought in the beginning for me that, okay, I'm diabetic. That just means I have, high blood sugar. So what? No, it means a lot more than that. And that's why, and as you get older, and you're still very young, but as you get older and people are not controlling their diabetes and they start losing limbs, usually it starts with amputating the toes, then the foot, then the leg up to the knee, then both legs, you know what I'm saying? So, but when we can correct that by food, when you have the opportunity to do that for yourself, I beg you to please do it, because like I said, being diabetic is not fun. And I have to think and plan my food. So, and there is no way that anybody, regardless of what they told me, there is no way that somebody else could change my life, help me to be healthier until I was ready to make the difference in my own life. So that's what I'm saying. Even out of our group that's here right now, there's 8 people here. Out of our group that's here, doesn't mean everybody's going to succeed. Doesn't mean everybody's going to go past tonight. It's a personal decision. So whenever you can, make that decision for yourself that you want better, then just take those steps as we go down the road and we'll get you to a healthier you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you. No, actually, I am 59 years old, Stephanie. So yeah, I would have been a teenager to have you, but yeah, I could have been your mom. So easy. My oldest child will be 40 years old in May. Yep. So, but yeah. So if I would have been a teenage mama, yeah, I could have been your mom. And I only guessed your age older because you always seem so adult-like. So I just thought you happened to look young, but I thought you were maybe a little older because, up in your 40s, because you just seem very like mature, very stable kind of person. But yeah. So, and if you want to, if you want to be here for grandkids and a full life and stuff, you got to get healthy. So that's all I can say. And like I said, I know the battle that you decide, okay, I'm going to get healthy. I want to lose this weight. I, want to get on with my life and stuff. And then yet you're still around the same people, living in the same house, facing the same stresses as always. It is a hard cycle to break, a very hard cycle. Like my husband, for decades, he had a girlfriend. Yes, he did. He had a girlfriend. Um, her name is Little Debbie, and he loved Little Debbie. When we would go to the store, he would just stand in the Little Debbie section in awe of her and not knowing which one of Little Debbie to choose because he loved her so much. And I can remember even the kids, when they were young, they bought him a Twinkie because he also loved Hostess, but not like Little Debbie. But they bought him a Twinkie hardcover to put his Twinkies in his lunchbox so they would not get flattened, you know. But he's now reached the point where him and Little Debbie have broken up. She hasn't been in my house at all, you know, so I'm proud of him for that. But it was so hard when I had somebody that loved all those sweets and stuff, yet he's only gone up one size in pants in over 40 years. I don't even think he's human sometimes. But he could eat all of that stuff. And on the outside, he's still, you know, got the six pack, the whole bit and stuff. And I'm like, huh? But, you know, he was able to still eat that stuff. It wasn't helping him, you know, inside of his body. All his blood work and stuff was showing something, you know, different. But for me to see all the stuff in the house, and then there would be times when I'd say, well, you know what? I'm just going to eat one of those. If I have one, that's not bad because normally I'd eat four, but tonight I'm going to have one. Yes, I would sit and rationalize it in my own mind and justify it that it was okay for me to have that. So, and I thought it was okay. Well, I could not eat just one. I'd have to have a few. And then, well, since I'd already had a couple of them, then what's it hurt the next day if I just have one cake? What's that going to hurt? Because I'm not going to eat more than that one cake. I'm not going to do it. Then after I had eaten four of them, then it's like, well, okay, well, tomorrow I am not touching it. Wrong. I'd be right back to this. I called it my tower of terror, that I'd be right back to the tower and eating the stuff. Why? Because it's loaded with sugar and it's making you crave it. So now, like I said, I don't have that sweet tooth stuff. I don't have it anymore. But it takes some practice to get away from that. You have to decide that you are worthy of being your best person. And it's not, hi, Sonia, how are you, sweetie? How are you? It's good to see you. Well, thank you for joining us. Yeah, I'm just kind of sharing my own, you know, experience with weight and weight loss and stuff. And I'm hoping it can help somebody. But I know it's not easy. And there's going to be trial and error. But you have to decide that you're worth living a better life, you know, and it's not about being skinny. You know, it's not about being a stick. Hi, Rosebud. Welcome in, sweetheart. Oh, you're leaving on a 4-day retreat. Well, lucky you. I'm going to be staying home on a 4-day retreat. How about that? But, you know, you have to make that decision that you are worth this, you know? Oh, well, bless your heart. Well, Sonia, we're going to be doing Girls Night In every single week. So you are more than welcome to come back. And if there is a topic that you want covered, just email me right there, Mr. Cutie's mom. Just send me an email. And if you have a topic, definitely we'll cover it. And I do not have to say that, hey, it came from Sonia. You know what I'm saying? So, but if... yeah, see, but if you can, instead of grabbing the candy or the cookies or whatever, if you buy your nuts, put them in sandwich bags, do even your pretzels. You could even pre-mix your bags of your pretzels and your nuts together. I call it a mixture, that I'm a mixer, because I read all of my packaging and I sandwich bag everything according to serving sizes. So that does two things for me. that I know when I have eaten that, and if it's a mixture of stuff, like if I do nuts and pretzels together, or if I'm going to add cheese to it, I will write right on the bag what it is. I know that sounds weird, but for a food addict, it helps. I will write right on there what my carb count is for the things that are mixed together. And then it also tells my brain that when that bag is empty, to stop eating, that is my food for that time. You know what I'm saying? Versus, where do you think you have more control? Reaching out of this bag to eat or reaching out of a bag this size? You're going to have more control out of this. Same thing like the old trick of eating on a smaller size plate instead of putting your food on a big plate. You know, you can do that as well. But if you're a visual person like I am, like I said, I love food. I love it. Just now, the foods that I love are different than what they used to be. So, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You have to take the time for yourself to prep your food. You have to. Whether it is skipping a phone conversation, lunch with somebody out, one night of laundry, whatever, you have to get your refrigerator prepared for you. I don't know if you guys have seen, and if you haven't, I'll get the sugar-free yogurts out that I eat. They are such a great treat. They're sugar-free. They come in all kinds of different flavors. So then, see, once you are sugar-free, there are so many foods that you can add in. My favorite one is the sugar-free Chobani Milk and Cookies yogurt. I love that. They make a tropical one. They have the individual fruit flavored ones, like a cherry one, a strawberry one, whatever. But the Milk and Cookies is my favorite. And so you can have stuff like that. And again, you're having yourself a dessert, you know, and it's a good sized cup that you get. Now, back in, you know, my older days, my bigger days, I could have eaten 3 or 4 of those, easy, 3 or 4 of them. Now, sometimes even to finish the 1 cup, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm full. So, but you will see within a few weeks, as your stomach is shrinking, that your favorite bars. Hi, Val, how are you, sweetheart? You know what? My favorite bar is the and I just saved the wrapper because I just ate the last one. It's the gourmet something. They're less than 1 gram of sugar in them. Oh my God, I love those things. They come in either peanut butter flavored or dark chocolate, and I get them at Costco. So, but yeah. Oh, you want to see the yogurt? Hold on, let me grab it. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm out of the milk and cookies right now, but this is the one that I have, the Chobani Greek yogurt, the pineapple one. And then, now this one, let me show you this. This is the same size cup. Same thing, but this one here has got, let me find the sugar on here. Total sugar, 7 grams that's in here. So to some people, it's like, oh, that's not a lot of sugar. Yeah, it is. It's almost 2 teaspoons of sugar. But there are some yogurts out there that right now, in a small little tall container like this, it will have, oh my gosh, it will have, Leslie, can you take care of that for me? it will, I don't know what I was saying on the sugar on here. Hold on one second. But, oh, and the taller containers, there's some yogurts that will have up to 16 grams of sugar in them, and that's crazy. Leslie, I just sent you a text message. So, yeah, but well, and you know what I like about the Chobani ones is, like I said, my favorite flavor in that is the my favorite flavor in that is the milk and cookies one, but I'm out of that. Leslie, did you get my text? Thank you, Texas Val. Thank you. Yeah, that one actually, Izzo had to subscribe because I'm on subscriber only mode. So that's somebody who's desperate and who says the same thing in everybody's chat, in everybody's chest, and everybody's chats. So I don't know. Whatever, weirdo. So, but like I said, anybody who needs help with individual food choices, um, I am more than happy to help you to get started. It can be overwhelming to know where to begin. And then, whenever you have something that you slip up on, you're too hard on yourself and you think that it's all over. And it's not. It's just you pick your feet back up at the next meal. And I know in the beginning, I thought, oh my gosh, I have got a few 100 pounds to lose, over a few 100 pounds to lose. But I'm telling you, once you get rocking and rolling on it and stuff, and you see the changes in your body, your energy level, your personality, everything, your life is just going to be so much fuller and you're going to be happier. And, you're not going to be so bogged down and stuff. And it's good for long-term life health to get healthy. So, but I'm going to, hi, Deborah. Yep, that's another good brand as well. Yep, definitely. Yeah, there's lots of them out there, and that's what I'm saying. All of us have like our own taste of things, that we like and dislike, and that's why whenever you're starting your weight loss journey, there has to be foods that will fit you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dana, how are you, sweetheart? Oh, that's okay. I'm actually going to be wrapping up right now, but you can always go back and watch me blah, blah, blah. So, but, that's why we have to pick foods that will help you to be a success. You cannot be on. Oh, wow. Val, did you have, if you don't mind me asking, did you have some kind of surgery done? Like a weight loss surgery done? Just when you say bariatric doctor, I was just wondering. Or are you being funny? I don't know. Stephanie, yes. Popcorn, it is great. Just like, oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. See, I've had, I don't want to say several, but I've had 5 friends who have had surgeries done. I just chose to do it, and it's different for all of us, but I just decided to do it on my own, to not do the surgery thing. But great for you. Great for you. So, but yeah, food is hard. It's an everyday choice for us, and it's all around us. So, and I said if I could kick the bad food eating stuff, I can do anything in life. If I can give up my food addictions, I can do anything in life. And you have to look at it that way. So, because like I said, I personally think that being a food addict is worse than being a heroin addict because it's all around us all the time. We're tempted by it on TV, through our families, through our friends, through the grocery stores and stuff. It's out there. And when you're an emotional eater and food is tied to your emotions, it's a whole another ballgame. And, I did several years ago when I did a girls' night in chat, I actually talked about, hi, Anamora, how are you, honey? I actually talked about putting weight on to protect myself as a child. So that maybe if I was overweight, that, people would not bother me, mainly meaning men. So, but, and that's sad, looking back at that, that's sad, but that's what I did. So, and then food became my friend. And then I spent decades of my life of hiding behind that weight, So it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. But when you can relate to other people and know that other people are struggling, see, I'm now at the point where I don't struggle. I don't cheat. I have no reason to. I've been doing this long enough that, again, I have so many food choices that there's no reason for me to go to the bad. And if I went to the bad, I would physically be sick from it. I wouldn't be able to eat it. Oh, the other thing, and I'll save this for the beginning of next week, but the other thing is that I wanted to cover was French fries and which ones are good ones, bad ones to choose. Because again, it's a potato and it gets a bad rap, but yes, you can have them. So, and I actually bought them to have, and just so that you know, everything that I have back here, stuff that's not so great, I'm actually donating that, but I bought things so that I would have them here to show you examples of things. So, but will they be eating in this household? Absolutely not. So not by me, not by my husband or anybody else. Exactly. Well, you know what, Val? I'm glad that you brought that up, and I didn't want to say it, just out of respect of you having surgery. But the surgeon who had done a gallbladder surgery for me, he said, just because the stomach is smaller does not mean that these people do not quit eating. He said all they do is they learn to eat in smaller amounts and they continue to eat and stuff. They have to learn to make that decision to eat healthy. He said, like, if they want to drink wine all day, yeah, they can drink wine. They just drink small amounts of it. So congratulations to you, because you had to put in your part of the work. There's no injection out there right now. There is no surgery that's going to do the work for you. It can assist you, but you have to do your part, bottom line. So, and congratulations to you. You are a beautiful woman. And congratulations to you for valuing yourself and being able to do this. But, there's, and I also didn't want to add, with my friends that have had surgeries done, 3 of the 5 are bigger than ever. So, and it's sad, but, they had started off good and then just, well, okay, I can go ahead and cheat. And then, no. And, oh, but Dana, girlfriend Dana, we'll have to cover that in another thing. We just did pretzels. I don't know if you were here for pretzels or not, but there's a way you can eat chocolate pretzels. How about that, girlfriend? There's a way to do that. For every food that you like, there is a way to do it. Just to be, low carb and low sugar or no sugar on things. But yeah, if you're talking about those flips ones, you get your butt away from there, girl. You start doing your own pretzels. Okay. Don't be eating those other ones with a very cheap chocolate on there. So, oh, Bill, I think you're my new bestie. But no, but I mean that. It's hard work. It is hard work. And, for you to have that control, to make that commitment, to have the surgery done, and then to follow through with the diet part of it, and too, it shows your determination. So, but And see, and I think the same about you. You got your stuff together, you're a hardworking woman, you're attractive, the whole bit. So you're the whole package, girl, the whole package. See, Dana, how did I know? How did I know it's the flips? Mm-hmm. Okay, but Rosebud, but you've gained 16 pounds back. That's not 160 pounds. So you can correct that. And you have to remember too, anytime that you have any kind of surgery done and you're sick and stuff in the beginning, and then you lose some weight, you're going to have like that, what I call the adjustment time. So what? Just don't let it continue. Don't let it go from 16 pounds to 25 pounds to 40 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Do not, do not let that happen. Think more of yourself and say, I'm going to, where is what? That's why I'm trying OA. What is OA? Overeaters Anonymous? Is that what that is? But Rosebud, here's the thing. I cannot not. No, Val, you always make mine when I see you. You always make me smile. So love you too, girl. Love you too. But Rosebud, just meal by meal. I have never heard of somebody gaining weight by eating a big pot of, vegetables. So just if you like to eat a lot of food, you just got to pick the right foods. That's all. That's all. If you guys want to do a part two, like I said, I'm actually lining up videos of some of the foods that I eat, and I'm going to share them with you guys. Some of you will love the foods, and some of you will hate the foods. If you are a person that is into even fried foods, like you love fried chicken, I can show you the ways that you can have stuff that tastes like fried chicken that are fantastic, but without all the fat and the grease to it. You know, like my oven, I don't know how many of you have these, but my whole oven is an air fryer. So shoot, I can put me a big turkey in there, a small human being, whatever. But I will share some recipes with you and stuff of things that you can. Hi, Jane. Of some things that you can make and how to incorporate into your life. We can cover main meals, snacks, desserts, even. And love you too, Miss Jane. These are one of the best cakes you will ever make. Ever. Yep, Anna, that's what we said earlier. Carbonated drinks are not good for you. But when you take these cake mixes and you mix them with cold bottled water, and especially if you have silicone bakeware, I bought mine at Aldi's for goodness sakes. But when you bake these and add the cold water to it, it makes the cake super moist. And then Walmart has the best selection of sugar-free jellies. I mean, I can show you how to do cakes, cupcakes, and everything that are all totally 100% sugar-free. But again, just because they're sugar-free doesn't mean that they're free foods that you can just eat whatever you want to of them. So you have to get detox from sugar, take 2 weeks to do that. Then as your stomach is shrinking and you're learning portion control, then you can add the sweets back in. If you do this from the beginning, and listen when I say it again, if you do this from the beginning, you are never going to kick the sweet craze. Never, never. Even though it's no sugar, no. And you will eat the whole cake, at least half of it, if not the whole cake. You cannot do that. You cannot. Okay. And yeah, we had talked about in the beginning about sodas that, and like I said, Dr. Now from My 600-Pound Life, first thing he always tells his patients is no pop or soda, whatever you guys want to, call that, but no pop, no soda, because it stretches your stomach. And when you're not used to drinking pop/soda, cola, whatever you want to call it, and then you will drink it again, it literally, you can feel those bubbles going all the way down, and sometimes it even burns. It's not a good feeling at all, but we get addicted to it. I know when I was a kid, my parents were the parents that we had any food we wanted, any drink that we wanted. With my kids, same thing. Whenever my kids had their friends over, their friends loved coming to our house because they could have free pop and free food. And in their own homes, it was limited. I'm like, what? What? So, but the thing of it is that we start out young. And of course, when your parents love you, they feed you, give you all kinds of food. And we become addicted as kids to sugar, you know? So there's some countries where they're spicy versus sugar. You know what I'm saying? But in America, we love our sugar, and it's one of the worst things ever created. We're also a country of indulgence. And so, more is more is better. And so, and the more of it that we eat, yes, yeah. See, we were talking about skipping breakfast earlier. You have to have breakfast. For those of you that are just coming in, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, period. End of story. You have got to have it. And I will say again, the best food to have. And even though you can say, I don't like eggs. Well, do you want to stay obese, or do you want to open up your mind to stuff to be healthy and to lose some weight? But if you have an omelet, and I don't care if you add your salsa to that, you can salsa and cheese and some fat-free sour cream. You can make a Mexican omelet. You can do a vegetarian omelet. You can do it plain, whatever you want to do. But an omelet is the best way to start off your day, and it does not raise your blood sugar. It does not. An omelet will not. Google it. Put me to the test. An omelet does not raise your blood sugar. Okay. So diabetic or non-diabetic, that is the best thing to start your day out with. If you guys want to do a part 2 on food, we can do that. We can continue next week. And let's see how many people start tomorrow on a detox from sugar. Tomorrow's Thursday. So by next Wednesday, you'll have 6 days. So let's see who can be sugar-free from tomorrow until next week. How many people can make it, that far? So, because like I said, I thought in the beginning when I was told 14 days, shoot, I can do that. It's not as easy as it sounds. But you have got to say to yourself, I deserve better. I deserve better than this. And start reading your labels. We'll discuss it next week. Start reading your labels and start counting your carbs at your meal. Like I said, my own doctor says at this point for me that I can have 80 carbs per meal. I don't eat that many. I mean, that's high. I can't even consume that much food to do that. But she tells me I can have 80 carbs, per meal. So start counting your carbs is what you do. Sonia, that's great. I am glad to hear that. If you need help and encouragement, like I said, email me right there. I'll be glad to give you my phone number. We can even text, whatever, and I will help you through it. And the sooner, let's like that with a lot of the new mommies out there, they are not giving their kids sugar now, and it's a great thing. Oh, that's a hard one, Dana. God bless you. Okay, but see, hello, where are you? Okay, now Rebecca, sugar-free doesn't mean other sweeteners, right? Yeah, well, what it means is, like I said, don't go from that, okay, well, it's sugar-free if I'm using it, because you could be eating this. Sugar-free means staying away from all of those foods, the cakes, the donuts, the pies, the candy bars, the whatever. Stay away from those foods. Don't be eating the fried, greasy, sugar-loaded items. Detox, get it out of your life. That's what it means. And I'm telling you, you will know the difference. You will definitely know the difference. And Francine, for Matt's birthday this weekend, it is the perfect time to put it into effect to stay away from the cake and choose healthy food options. You know, you can do that. What do you think? Like, we go for a lot of celebrations to the Hilton in Daytona, right on the ocean. They have a huge buffet. It goes from the amuse bouche, the little one bite things, to a brunch station with all your breakfast, waffles, eggs, all that stuff, into a salad section, dessert section, fish, filet mignon, all kinds of stuff. Lord, I could sit there and eat forever, but I know which stations to stay away from. Not even fruit platter, Francine. See, that's the thing, is and you can do protein, carb, and some vegetables. Your fruit, a lot of it that you're going to have on that plate, your cantaloupes, your pineapples, your watermelons, they're loaded with sugar. They're loaded with sugar. So that's where you don't want to be, sweetheart. So, but if you email me, I'll help you, Francine, and we can talk. Nope, it's not difficult, Dana. You have to train your brain and your body to match that. I mean, like, how do you think, like, the bodybuilders and stuff, do you think they're eating candy bars and chips and all that kind of stuff? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So you have to train your mind and your body to work together, and that these things are not necessary. You have to break old habits that, like I said, sometimes that they see, but Francine, that's what I said, that this is hard, but it is possible. If I can, as a woman at 456 pounds, lose well over 200 pounds, if I can do it, and I did it on my own, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's just a matter of how important you are to you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to decide what's important in your life. If you want to be around for your son and you want to be healthy, then you know what you need to do. But putting it into motion is not so easy, So, I mean, like, I'm a highly intelligent person, but in my own personal life, to, be able to change everything and still stay in my environment, it was hard. It was very hard. But you just have to decide what's important to you. When people, and I'm going to say this because I was one of them, so I'm allowed to. When women are large and I know too, I can tell you this, when I was larger, I used to pick other women apart really bad, bad. I'd be like, you see that girl over there? Look what she's wearing. Look how she's acting. Look at this. I mean, just total strangers that I didn't even know. Why was I doing that? Because I was so insecure about what I felt like at the time. But yeah, I used to be very critical of, and not so much my friends, but just other people, and why? Because they were a lot smaller than me. So, but that's just where I was at. But I knew where I wanted to be, but it was a matter of getting there, and how did I do it? And I didn't have any clue. So, and then when I did have a clue, and it's been trial and error and a lot of failures, but I wasn't giving up. So that's what I'm telling you. And I want you girls to be honest next week. Don't say, oh yeah, I'm halfway there to being sugar-free, because, that might not be true. But if you'll be honest of where you're at starting tomorrow to next Wednesday, then we know where to take you from there. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, I made it 2 days. I was great for 2 days, and then I had to have some sugar. Or I made it 5 days, and then day number 6, I had sugar today, but tomorrow I'm going back to being sugar-free. You know what I'm saying? So, but if, oh yeah, totally, Dana, totally. But and if you ladies will be honest, though, like I said, of how your sugar-free journey is going, then we know how to get you back on the horse next week and stuff. Can you wean off? Francine, whenever sugar is a vicious cycle, you cannot wean off of it because it's going to, just like if you were a meth head, if you were a crackhead, if you were a heroin addict, at least with those drugs, there are synthetic drugs that they make that can wean you off of those. With sugar, we don't have any synthetic drugs that they've made for that. So you need to cold turkey stop your sugar intake. You must. You must. So you will thank me for that information once you're through it. But yeah, and Stephanie, that's what I said too, though. But if you're letting your mind think that, oh, I'm still eating sugar and stuff, the mental is still there that you want the sugar. So until, yeah, Dana, I didn't say no fruit. I said, like Francine was saying, her only choices for the weekend coming up is probably a fruit plate. And I said, no, that would absolutely be your wrong choice as a meal, because chances are the fruit on that plate is going to be nothing but pure sugar. I'm not saying no fruit. I am saying don't look at that like as that's a good choice for a meal because it's fruit, and if start looking up how many grams of sugar are in how many grams of sugar are in this fruit or that fruit in a serving, then add all of that, together. Yeah, but see, even with protein bars, Francine, you have to be careful with a lot of them, even though they'll have 10 grams or 18 grams of protein. Some of them are high in sugar. So I had this little gourmet thing. I'll send you a picture of it. I have one wrapper. I saved it today whenever I ate the last one. It's less than 1 gram. It's literally like a candy bar. And they're good. They either come peanut butter, chocolate covered, or double chocolate. I buy them at Costco. They're $20 a box. And they are fantastic. But they've got, next to no sugar in them, and they're high in protein. So even though in your head, if you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm starving, no, that protein is going to help to curb your hunger. If you eat some nuts before you go wherever it is, that's got your protein in there. Drink yourself a bottle of water. Don't automatically go to your old habits of, well, I'm just going to eat just this one night. Well, because it's a birthday. Well, it's a this or that. Shouldn't matter what the day of the week is. Your body does not know. Your body does not know that it is somebody else's birthday. Your body does not know it's a wedding. Okay. Your body just knows what you're putting into it every day. See, just like whenever you had said, well, my thing is that I eat late. Well, if you eat late, that's really your eating time. If that's when you're eating is overnight. So your body doesn't know that. It knows when it's awake, when it needs fuel, when it has to have that in order to function. It doesn't matter what the time of day is. So we need to feed it during those hours the best food that it can get. Like I said, people that work third shift, they all take lunches to work. Why? Because they're eating during their awake time. So it doesn't matter if you're a night owl or not. You just have to adjust your food accordingly for the hours that you're up. That's all. So, but I am going to sign off for now. If anyone has any questions, yes, we can definitely continue next Wednesday night. We will do Food Addiction Part 2. And those of you that want to start going, there you go. See, there's so many choices out there of things that you can have. So many things. Like I said, we could talk food forever. I love talking about food. But we will continue Food Addiction Part 2 next Wednesday night. I might do a pop-up auction tomorrow night, depending on where I'm at with work. If I have enough time and energy after I get done. Thank you, Leslie. You're always so kind. If I have time after I get off work tomorrow, then I will do a pop-up auction. If I don't have time, then I'll schedule one for next week. How's that sound? But we will do part 2. If anybody wants to join me on the panel for next week, from Val to Leslie to whomever, you are more than welcome to come on and talk instead of me just doing all the talking. You are more than welcome to come on, share your stories, your struggles, whatever. But I'm going to pray for each of you that, God blesses you between now and next Wednesday, that you can be on your way to getting sugar-free and getting healthy. So, and if anybody needs any help at all, again, email me right there. I'll send you my phone number. Yes, I will give you the real phone number. I'll send you my phone number. You can call, text me, anything. I'm willing to help because I know how hard it is. So, and that means when I say anybody, that means anybody. I will make time, even if a call's got to be at 4 a.m. when I get up, or if it's at 8 o'clock at night. I will make sure that I make time to help you because I know how hard it is. Hi, Miss Sharon. We are just signing off, but I hope that everyone has had a great night. And I look forward to seeing you next week for Girls Night In. And we will do Food Addiction Part 2. Okay? So I love you. Have a great night. And I will see you soon. Hopefully tomorrow. But we'll see energy level where I'm at. Okay? Love you. Bye-bye.